Hello, assistant, Brie Bear. It is 9:26 a.m. on Metal Monday, and she just got out of bed. So I did the BMO half marathon yesterday. It is their 50th anniversary, so I have a shirt that I picked up at the Brooks little shop at the BMO Expo on Friday. Bib. Just my plain name this time. I didn't come up with wifey or anything. And there's the medal. 50 on the back. And your standard blue ribbon. I'm going to wear this because it is Metal Monday. But I just wanted to go over how the race went. Because a friend of mine, Derek, has been training me because we made a bet, as we do. And while goals had to be adjusted slightly, we were both very, very happy with coming in at a 2:10, even like a 2:12. If I felt really great, I could push for something around a 2:05, but neither of us really thought that 2:05 would happen. Anything under 2:10 would have been like fantastic. PB previously was 2:15 and like 12 seconds. So the race was yesterday, Sunday, May 1st in real time. I think this is going to go up probably Wednesday. So the race for the half marathon starts at 7 a.m. I have no problem with this. Sure, getting up at 5:30, I wish, 4:30 in the morning sucks, but you know, I used to do that when I worked at my last job, so it sucks, but at least it's just one day. Jason dropped me off about 45 minutes before the race starts because I don't check a bag or anything, like I don't do the gear check. Jason has all my stuff post-race because he comes. If he were out of town or if I were doing an out-of-town race and he wasn't with me, obviously I would get there earlier so I could gear check. I tried to find my Striders crew, couldn't find them. I like to get to the corral a little bit earlier, so I just did some stretches on my own. I was feeling really good, did some like little hops sideways, a lot of hopping up and down. Just the usual. Obviously I can't do any like sitting core work because I'm outside. Got to the corral. They were announcing, they were like pumping us up for the start of the race. BMO is really good about going off on time. Anytime I have run, it's very accurate at, if it's the half marathon, I think it's even just before 7 o'clock. Or it might be 7 o'clock on the dot, the elites take off. See you later, bye. And then like the fast group, slightly less fast, slightly less fast, slightly less fast. Each group goes off, each corral goes off 5 minutes apart because we're on like the start of the race is on an emergency access route, so to get to the hospitals. It was like 7:05 and we still hadn't done the anthem and nobody was talking. So that was weird. I just thought maybe we were having some sort of like malfunction with the timing mat or something along those lines. So I pulled out my phone at about 7:15. Who are these people? So I sent them a message at 7:10 a.m. that said, we still haven't started. I don't think the elites have taken off yet. Derek was just like, keep moving, stay warm, blah, blah, blah. Keep in mind, I'm wearing my running outfit. So I'm in shorts and a t-shirt. I'll try and put in a picture here. Now you're in a corral, so it's pretty cramped. I was like, I'm moving, but I'm moving my legs. I wasn't thinking about my upper back. We'll get to that. So then I was on the Twitter. Reddit was not loading. I went to the Twitter and the VPD tweeted, "The start of the BMO Vancouver Marathon is delayed due to a police incident near the route. VPD is responding and we will provide updates here when available. We thank everyone for their patience." Why do I have to go to Twitter? Now, you as the event organizers don't have to say why we're not starting, but you should probably give people a heads up. Hey, we're delayed. We'll keep you posted. Right? So then my husband was near the Canby Bridge. So it's about like the 3 to let's say 2.5 kilometer mark. And he said, we just spoke to a police officer and apparently the incident is at Quebec and Terminal. So east of where he was, it's about the 4.5K mark. And all he said to Jason and my cousins was that soon was their estimated time of reopening. So I was like, this is like some sort of bad omen. And then we basically just said, you just got to roll with the punches. Now keep in mind, I've had my caffeinated noon because I took that right before 7 o'clock because I like to give it about 15 minutes to kick in, knowing that I was going to take off at about 7:05, and you're riding the high for the first few minutes. It's like, that was like perfectly well timed out. I took my gummies because I use gels on the course. I'd either take a gummies or a wafer beforehand. So then we find out from Twitter again, because BMO Marathon retweeted that from the VPD and basically said it's at least a 45-minute delay. The marathoners are supposed to go off at 8:30. So if we're not starting until at least 7:45, you're not even, like, the half marathoners will have just left by the time that the full marathon is supposed to start. And you've got road closures. Whatever, it's all out of our control. So there were 3 theories spinning around because that's what the internet is good for. The first one is that there was a car accident not far from where Quebec and Terminal is, but not on the route. And it's not on a access route. So that didn't really make sense, but I figured maybe, if there were fatalities or something, you just don't want, get it all cleared and out of the way and then let the runners resume. But fair enough. The second theory is that there was a protest. Now, it's a weird spot for a protest, but whatever. And what are we still protesting? I digress. The third theory is suspicious package. So they needed to call in the squad to come and take a look at it. Of course, this is the internet. You're just theorizing. It did turn out it was a suspicious package. The VPD had to bring in the B squad and make sure that it wasn't anything of concern or that it would go off. So at about at 7:50 a.m. we did the anthem. So if I were to look, I don't think I was tracking myself because that would just be ridiculous. Can I search participants? Me. It doesn't say what time I started. I started at 8:08 a.m. So the caffeinated noon and the gel, virtually non-existent now within my body. I knew I was in for a rough go. So I took off. Everything was feeling okay. Nothing was screaming at me except Derek when I saw him because I was going too fast. yelled that at me. He was at the Canby Bridge with Jason, and then he took his bike and he went over to the turnaround point. And he yelled at me there too. He was like, dial it in, dial it in, dial it in. So, you know, my bad. So I started to dial it in. I forgot to take my gel right before the water station, so I had to take it and then go without water as I was going through Chinatown. God, I've missed running through Chinatown. It's good times. The hill there sucks, but it's a relatively small incline. It's totally fine. You just slow it down. However, because I drank like 400 milliliters of that noon water, I had to pee. Now, sometimes you can run through it because your body is using this water. So you essentially, you're dehydrating yourself. So I was like, maybe my body will start to use this water and I'll be okay. Joke's on me. So I was running through Yaletown, and so Jason and my cousins and the dogs were at Pacific and Davie, which is about, I think that's about kilometer 7.5. I don't remember. Yeah, probably about 8. I really, really, really had to pee. Now, there's not a lot of like porta potties on the route, and of course you don't want to stop, you don't want to lose your momentum, you don't want to lose your mojo, and you definitely don't want to waste time because you can't just pause. You're in the middle of a race. I eventually, I think I crossed the 10-kilometer mark, so the halfway timing map basically, and I saw porta potties ahead and I was like, I have to stop. There were 5 people in front of me. It added about, I'm going to say 2 minutes. So whatever my time is, obviously that is what counts. That is my chip time. However, remove 2 minutes for the unfortunate stop, all because of the hour-long delay with the suspicious package. So then I continued on my merry way, and I was like, that's perfect. This is a great time for me to really dial it in because I did go too fast in the beginning. Let's try and get back. Let's just get up to the 6:20 mark and just kind of like cruise a little bit until we're into Stanley Park. And then we'll see how we feel. Obviously, you got to take the hills in there a little bit slower. And let's just try to get... I knew at that point I wasn't going to get the negative split Derek wanted because of how fast I went in the first 6K. Sorry, Derek. So I felt good. Lungs felt great. My allergies obviously were bothering me. They were okay. Nothing crazy. There was like a nice little breeze. So it was like refreshing against your skin. It was nothing harsh. Legs felt totally great. And I was wearing my neutral Brooks, which I haven't worn a neutral shoe in a race since 2014. Okay. Oh, are you jumpy today? Everything felt fine. Dialed it in. I was feeling good. I was like, okay, now we're conserving energy. I'll be able to push. And as we were hitting Lost Lagoon, which I believe it's like around kilometer 14, my right shoulder was becoming very unhappy. So I was like, I'm gonna have to slow it down just a little bit more. I'm gonna have to try and loosen the shoulders and not be like, so I'm just gonna have to like just try and like kind of just bad posture for a little bit to just kind of shake it out. I did take a little bit of a walk and I stretched it out. It was okay to manage for about another 1.5 kilometers. And then it was like an immense amount of pain. So in previous races, I would probably be like, oh my God, what the hell? I'm not going to accomplish I'm not going to accomplish a sub 2:15 at this point. I'm not going to PB this. It's over. And that would just be a mental like mind game. However, Derek has drilled the importance of, if something happens, you just turn it into a training room. So where did I see him? I saw him just after that 14-kilometer mark. So he just jogged a little with me, and then he went back to his bike and he was like, I'll see you on the other side of Stanley Park because you're coming out on the seawall. So it would be around kilometer 17, I think. 18. It hurt. Almost like Victoria, which was, granted, like 3 weeks after the car accident. I knew that was really not a good idea. But I went into it with the mindset that I was just going to go have fun. So when I realized it wasn't going to happen, I just turned it into a training run and just said, all right, so now we're just going to super slow it down. Let's not do anything to really anger this, because you don't want, I'm almost out of ICBC benefits for this. So I definitely don't want to do anything to like really screw it up. So we did that. There was a lot of walking to stretch it out. I was getting very tired. I think it's because I was standing for an hour before the race that I wasn't anticipating doing. Plus the 45 minutes that I was there beforehand in the cold. I was still cold because the sun didn't really make an appearance at all. It was just all bad. So I'm coming up to West Georgia, so like right after, it's like the 21-kilometer mark. So you've got a couple hundred meters to go, or in what my watch says, like 500 meters, so it's like half a K. I crossed the finish line with a smile. I felt okay. There was no pain in my legs or my hips. It was just my shoulder. Unfortunately, my chip time is 2:20:59, but that was over 21.1 kilometers. So according to Strava, and again, I don't pause, so this includes the walk, or the pee break. Where are my achievements, yo? Half marathon, 2:19:14. So I basically hit the same pace that I did for Victoria when you take into account that I had to stop to pee. And because I just, for the last 5K, gave up and just ran a training run. I still managed to get a 10-mile PR at 1:43:46, a 15K PR at 1:36:05, got a 10K PR at 59:30, a 20K second fastest at 2:11:44, 5K second fastest at 27:57, 2-mile second fastest at 17:36, and half marathon third fastest 2:19:14. So I really, considering all things, I'm okay with that. I'm not happy, but there's nothing I can do about it. It's out of my control. You just gotta roll with it. What is your problem? Brie is exhausted because she was obviously cheering and spectating yesterday with my cousins and my husband and my cousin's dog, Tilly. So basically, I had a blast. It was great to be back towing the start line for the BMO. There's 8K, 21K, and 42K. Obviously with the delay, I didn't have the chance to be able to quickly drive over to the bridge at about the 29 or 30 kilometer mark to give everyone a cheer before I headed off to a friend's baby shower. A lot of people had a rough day. I think that delay was a huge block for a lot of people. I'm glad that they took the package seriously, because if that had been of concern, I mean, this is a pretty big event. There's like, I think 9,000 runners in each, or 8,000 runners in the half and the full. And then the rest are the 8K, so about 2,000 people do the 8K. I mean, that's a lot of people. Now, this would have only affected the half marathon route, but the half goes off first because you don't want half elites and full elites crossing at the same time. We obviously don't want like a Boston Marathon kind of situation on a far less populated scale. So I'm very thankful that that was taken seriously. It was just such a delay. It was cold. It was not good. I should have gotten out of the corral and like just jogged back and forth through the parking lot until I heard the announcers come back, and then run back into the corral just to like keep everything loose and moving, because you can't really do that when you're in the corral. It's packed. And I also should have, if they had said anything, I would have immediately left the corral and I would have gone to pee, kept everything loose. I wouldn't have stressed, but it was like I was constantly on my phone trying to find the pieces of information, just trying to like stay mentally ready. So I put my music on and I was just trying to like keep busy, keep occupied, in the zone. Found some of my Striders crew. We all huddled in the corral together. And I'll put a picture in here. I really think if it hadn't been for that delay, I don't know if sub 210 would have happened yesterday, but I definitely think sub 215 for sure would have happened. Who knows? A sub 210 might have happened. So I've messaged a friend. She does the Strava challenge every month for the, like, we all do the 5K and the 10K. Not all. Some people don't like to run 10Ks. But she does the half marathon challenge every month. I don't always, because I don't like to set that expectation on myself. But she had her bachelorette this weekend, so she was not at BMO. So if she does hers towards the end of May, I might join her. We keep each other occupied. We entertain each other. We're socially awkward people. We are a hoot and a half. We enjoy puns and we enjoy people watching. So we will keep each other busy. I'm gonna probably run that with her and just see what happens. Other than that, I've got the Vancouver half in 6 weeks. Yeah, 6 weeks. We are off to my sister's, so there's a decent hill near her, but I can also go like into the city and run some of the hills there to get in some hill training. And just really kind of work on that, because I didn't do much hill training because of the shoulder. So I'm going to check with Molly when I go to physio, and see what she has to say. But that's like half marathon number, I don't know, 14? 15? I don't know. All my medals are still at the office. So the only ones I have here are this one, the Vancouver half from February, and Victoria. Everything else is still at the office. Because it goes in the den. And that is not a sorted situation as of yet. So, congrats to everyone that ran the BMO, whether you ran the full, the half, or the 8K. 8K is a hard distance, a 5-mile run, because it's like you're still sprinting, but it's 3 more K than a 5, and you're like, what the hell? But it's a lot easier for me to do an 8 compared to a 10. 10 I do not like. So if I do PR a 10K, it's always in a race that is a 21 or a 15. That's always the way it goes. If I go into a 10K, I do not PR. Just doesn't happen. I always come close. It's just a mental block for me. Just like some people really, really, really hate the 5K because you sprint. That's me with a 10. Because you don't really have a lot of time to manipulate in case something goes wrong. Whereas with a 21, you do have time. So, excuse me. If I had all that bank time from the very beginning of the race when I did the first 6K and way too fast, I still would have been okay with slowing down immensely. Still would have come in at 2:10. You don't get that in a 10K. Once you go, you just got to keep pushing. And I hate the distance. So, still my favorite. I think this is still my favorite race. There's just something about the BMO. You get to run looking towards downtown. Then you get to run through downtown. And then you get to run through Stanley Park. And then you finish downtown. Like, you get everything. It's just a great run. So if you've never done it and you want to come to Vancouver, do it. The full marathon is also fun. I'm pretty certain that Laura, Jade, and Charlene would not agree with that statement today. But they'll come around. They will come around. BMO Marathon is a gorgeous route. It is a tough race, though. I don't know if the BMO Marathon will ever be my fastest marathon. I honestly think it might be Chicago when I do that next year. Because that's like a pretty flat course. Whereas BMO's got rolling hills, and it's the downhills that really hurt you. Because you run them fast. But too fast, if that makes any sense. You really, really, really have to conserve energy in a full marathon. So those very steep downhills can really play with you. If you come down them too fast, it's not good. And Stanley Park, because they run on the outside of Stanley Park, there's like no cheer stations or anything, and it's your last 10K, and you're like, seriously, this is not over yet. But again, you still get a little bit of everything. You get to run through UBC, and it's really nice up there. You get to run through the west side of Vancouver, and it's really nice up there. And of course, you like run over a bridge and into downtown, and that's great. And you got like the cheer screen. So that's always fun. There's lots of entertainment on the courses. That's always fun. But yeah. I think I'm still going to do the half next year. I think it's going to be the half. I really want my third marathon to be Chicago. So, with that, shocking turn of events, my photos are not that good. I mean, seriously, why? Why can the photographers for the BMO race never get a good photo of me except for at the finish line when I've got my medal? Jason got a good photo of me. Oh, look at this one. My eyes are closed. Why would you even post that? Why would you even post? I don't want that. That is not going to make me want to buy your photos. Yo. Okay, sorry. But if you are in Vancouver on June 26th, come do the Vancouver half with us. I've recruited my cousins into doing another half. So sorry to their partners who came out yesterday for my race, which super appreciated. They absolutely did not have to, but they'll have to do it again on June 26th because their girlfriend and fiance will be running. So, sorry. Yeah, if you ran BMO, either the full, the half, or the 8K, let me know. And if you've done it before, any of the courses, because I've done all three, what's your favorite part about each course and what's your least favorite part about each course? And were you there yesterday for the suspicious package fiasco? And did it mess with you too? Because it definitely messed with me. Oh, I think I hear Kumo barking upstairs. Anyways, me and Sleepy Pie, she's hiding, are gonna go get some work done. I will stop wearing my medal, but I do really like it. Happy 50th, BMO. I'll see you guys later. Bye. Oh, goodbye. Say goodbye.